Hi everyone, I am going to explain the practicals of OS and Linux lab. So beginning with create the directory structure. So create the directory structure. So in the directory structure, first we have to create a directory with your name. So then followed by the college directory, office directory. Under the college directory there is 3 subdirectories, that is BA, B.Sc and B.Com. In the office directory there is again 2 subdirectories, so you have to create teaching subdirectory as well as non-teaching directory. The first question is put a file under BA, BCom, teaching and non-teaching with meaningful content. So first I will be creating the directory with my name. So starting with I am using mkdir command followed by your name. So a directory named Sharma will be created now. So followed by, so I have to create 2 subdirectories under the Sharma directory. So I will be using cd command, so which is used to change the directory. So cd your name, so your working directory will be with your name. So cd Sharma. So my current working directory will be Sharma. So within the Sharma directory I have to create 2 subdirectories named college and office. So by using mkdir command, so mkdir college followed by mkdir office. So I have created 2 subdirectories named college and office. So in the college subdirectory again there is 3 subdirectories named BA, B.Sc, BCom. So I am using mkdir command followed by BA. So a directory name BA will be created. So I am changing my current working directory to college since it is under the college directory. So cd college. So then we have to use the command mkdir BA. So directory name BA will be created followed by the mkdir B.Sc, and directory name B.Sc will be created and directory name BCom will be created. So next in the office directory, so again there is 2 subdirectories. So I have to come back to my parent directory, so which is Sharma. So use cd double dot space double dot, so it comes back to my parent directory which is college. So again make use of cd space double dot which comes back to my parent directory, that is Sharma. So under the Sharma there is office subdirectory, so use the command cd office. So my current working directory will be office. So within this office directory, so there is 2 subdirectories, so that is teaching and non-teaching. So I will be using cd office command to change my current working directory to office. So now create teaching subdirectory, that is by using mkdir followed by the teaching directory name, enter again, next mkdir followed by non-teaching subdirectory. So within this office directory there is 2 subdirectories now, that is teaching and non-teaching. So in the first question, that is, so create the file or put a file under BA, BCom, teaching and non-teaching with meaningful. First change the current working directory to BA. So using cd command cdba. So make use of cat command followed by the greater than symbol followed by the file name. Place the meaningful content, control T. So a file name BA1 will be created, same thing BA2. So next I have to put a file under BCom, B.Sc. So make use of cd double dot, so it comes back to the parent directory, so that is college. So change your current working directory to B.Sc. So create a file under B.Sc subdirectory. So come back to the parent directory, that is cd college. So change the current working directory to BCom. So place a file under. So next put a file under non-teaching and teaching subdirectories. So I have to change my current working directory to college, office. So come back to the parent directory, that is your name. So since you have to go forward, so make your current working directory as teaching. So mkdir cd teaching. So within this teaching subdirectory, so you have to place the file with meaningful content. So create one file or two files within this teaching subdirectory. So come back to the parent directory, that is office. So change your current working directory to non-teaching. So create one file, that is non-teaching, store, create a file under non-teaching. So next question is to move the content go to BA directory and then move its file to non-teaching directory. So come back to your parent directory, that is office. So come back to your parent directory, that is your name. So next, change the current working directory to college, CD college. Change the current working directory to BA, that is CD BA. So since you have to enter the full path, so where we want to move, so make use of pwd command. So it displays the full prints the full path name. So I am using mv command to move the content to the non-teaching subdirectory. So mv space file name space followed by the full path name to the non-teaching directory. So the file from BA directory will be moved to the non-teaching directory. So if you want to check whether this file is present within the BA, next make use of ls command. So it will be listing the files. So remaining will be only one file, that is BA2. So next question is to change the current working directory to non-teaching from root directory using only single command. So from the root directory, so come back to your parent directory, that is college. So come back to your parent directory, that is your name. So CD followed by the full path name to the non-teaching directory. So my current path name will be non-teaching. So last question is to copy the content to become delete BA directory recursively. So since I am in the non-teaching, come back to your parent directory, that is office. Come back to your parent directory is your name. So change your current working directory to college. Change your current working directory to BA. So next, copy the file from BA to BCom directory. So cp command space file name space enter the full path name to the BCom subdirectory. So you can check whether the file has been copied into the BCom directory by coming back to your parent directory, that is college, and you can go to the using cd command. You can check BCom directory name cd BCom, and you can make use of ls command. So we can check whether this file is present within the BCom subdirectory. So next, delete recursively BA directory recursively. So we have to delete all the files which is present within the BA subdirectory. So make use of rm space -r space BA directory name. So we have to come back to a parent directory, that is college. So the next question is to consider about directory structure. Means we have to consider the directory structure of the first question. So using that first question, so we have to execute the first question. So that is list of files in the long format starting from the root directory including subdirectory contents. So my current working directory should be your root. So that is your name directory. So my current working directory is your name. So using ls space -l caps r, so it will be listing all the contents including the subdirectory contents. So the second question is count how many files exist in the office directory. So from the root directory, so you make use of ls-l command. So ls-l space, you have to make use of pwd command to know the full path name of the office directory. So /office space pipeline symbol space wc command space -l. So it will be listing the files that exist in the office directory. Next, we have to display the present path. So by using pwd command, it will print the full path of the current working directory. So pwd, so it prints the full path name of the current working directory. So next we have to display the current date and time. So by using date space format, so place double quote percentage caps t space percentage caps t double quote close. So it will be printing the current date and time. So next the third question. Third question is to write the message to all the systems. So write the message to all the systems by using wall command space the message. So it will be sending the message to all the users who are logged into the Linux system. Next sub question is list who are logged into the system. So by using who command. Next display the calendar of the month you are born. So by using cal command space the month space followed by the year. Next fourth sub question is create few files, list all the files in the sorted order of the last modification time. So we have to create few files, so based on the last modification, so it will be listing that is recently modified. So I am creating two files, f1 and f2 by using cat command. So ls command space minus lt will be listing the files that is last modified. So recently I have modified the f2, so it will be listing the recently modified file. So f1 is next modified, so it will be listing next. So next question is to display list only the file names in the long format. So I have to list only the file names in the long format. So it shows minus, first character indicates whether it is a file or the directory. So minus is a file, so followed by the permissions for owner, group and others. So using ls minus l will be listing in a long format. So only all the directory contents will be listed, so including the directory and files. So I need only the files, so I make use of ls space minus l space pipe and symbol space grep command. So grep command is global search for regular expression. So space I have to enter the pattern, so it will be searching from the first character whether it is the file or the directory. So since the pattern for the file is minus, so it will be grep command will be searching for only the files. So only the file names f1 and f2 will be listed. So this is about the third question. So next the fourth question is to create few files which contain student information such as roll number, name, gender, so with class such as BA, BCA, B.Sc, B.Com and total marks. So first I have to create the files which contain student information. So next is, so I am creating the file cat followed by the student.dat with the roll number, name, gender, class and total columns. So enter some 3 or 5 records followed by control D. A file with student.dat will be created. Next I have to append 2 more records by using double greater than symbol followed by the file name. So I have to enter 2 more records, so press control D. So now the student.dat file contains 4 records, so we have to display the content of this file student.dat. So the next question is to display the records of only B.Sc course and sort on the reverse order of name and store in bscu.txt. So I have to display the records of only B.Sc course from the file student.dat and I have to store it in the bscu.txt. So grep command will be searching. So grep command will be searching for the patterns and prints those lines. So grep followed by the pattern followed by the file name. So this command will be listing the B.Sc records of this from this file. So I have to store it in a new file, that is bscu.txt, sorting in a reverse order and store it in a bscu.txt. So the output of this grep command will be sent as input to this sort command by using this pipeline symbol. So now this bscu.txt will be containing the B.Sc records. So display the content of bscu.txt. So now the bscu.txt contains B.Sc records. So next I have to rename the student.dat to stud.dat. So by using mv command I am renaming the student.dat to stud.dat. So that is about the fourth question. So fifth question, using this above to stud.dat file. So previous question I have renamed student to stud.dat. So when in the exam, so we have to first create the records. So minimum record will be some 4 or 5 records. So using this file, so I am adding the following permissions to that stud.dat file. So assign the execute permission for the user. So and remove the permission. Second question is removing the write permissions for the group. So I am assigning execute permissions for the user using chmod command followed by the file name. Next I am removing the write permission from the group for the stud.dat file from the stud.dat file. So next I have to list the changes. So using ls minus l. So I have assigned execute permission for user to this stud.dat file. So execute permissions for this user. Next I have removed the write permissions from the group. So I am removed the write permissions from the group. So next sub question is to select only the female names and store in the female.dat and male names to the male.dat. So using grep command followed by the pattern followed by the file name space pipeline symbol followed by the cat command greater than female.dat file name. So grep command will be listing all the females records from this stud.dat file, and that output will be sent as input to this cat command, and those records will be stored in this female.dat. Same thing, male records will be stored in this male.dat. Next question is we have to combine both the files and store the records in the new1.txt file. So combine both these files, male.dat space female.dat, and store it in a new file, new1.txt. So display the content of new1.txt file. So it contains both the male and female records. So next I have to translate. So I have to translate. In the case of the alphabet of the contents in the male.dat. So using tr command I am translating. So whichever was in the uppercase will be translated in the lowercase. So in the lowercase it will become in the uppercase by using tr space character set, that is A to Z. From it will be converted into caps A to Z, and next from caps A to Z it will be translated into small letter A to Z. So this male.dat will be your input. So this will be sent to the tr command. So for tr command male.dat will be the input. So now the whichever records was in the uppercase will be translated to lowercase, lowercase will be translated into uppercase. Next I have to display all the or list all the files that starts with B in the current directory, caps B. So using ls minus l, so followed by the space B star. So it will be listing all the files and directories which starts with B, caps B. So I need only the files, so I would make use of the grep command space enter the pattern. So this caret symbol will be searching from the first character followed by the pattern for the file is minus symbol. So a file with caps B will be displayed, which is present in your current working directory. In part B, the first program is to accept n and display the first n Fibonacci numbers. So you are using the echo command space how many Fibonacci numbers. Next we are using the read command to read the value from the keyboard, value of the variable from the keyboard. So read space n. Initialize f1, f2, f3, I is equal to 3. Next display the value of the variable f1 and f2 using by prefixing $symbol to the variable. Next checking the condition while space bracket open space $I space minus LE, that is less than or is equal to space $n. space bracket close. Do F3 is equal to expression $F1 space arithmetic operator, that is addition, space $F2. So throughout we are using, we have to give a space on both the sides of the arithmetic operator. Next, echo space $F3, we are displaying the value of the variable F3. So we have to prefix dollar symbol to the variable when you are displaying the value. So F1, F2 is assigned to F1, F3 is assigned to F2. I is equal to expression $I space plus space 1. Next, end of the while loop. So to display the first n Fibonacci numbers, so that is, so first vi space file name, enter. So we have to press I to enter into the insert mode. So next we have to type the commands. Soon after completing the commands, so we have to press escape, shift, semicolon, WQ. So it will be saving our program. So it comes back to the prompt. Now we have to execute our program by using sh filename dot sh or sh filename. So how many Fibonacci numbers? So enter the number, so it will be displaying the Fibonacci numbers. This next program is to accept an integer and find its reverse and also check for the palindrome. So first echo, enter a number, displaying a string, read the value of the variable from the keyboard, initialize n is equal to m, reverse is equal to 0. Next, checking the condition while space bracket open space $m space minus gt, that is greater than space 0 space bracket close. Do next we are checking d reverse m. So end of the while loop, echo reverse is we are displaying the reverse. Next we are checking whether it is palindrome or not, that is if $n is equal to $reverse, then echo palindrome, else not palindrome. End of the if, that is if. So when we execute the program, so we have to type vi space file name. So we are entering the insert mode by pressing I. So next we have to type the command. Soon after typing the command, press escape, shift, semicolon, WQ. So you are coming back to the prompt, execute your program by using sh space file name dot sh. So enter a number. So it is displaying reverse is 565 and it is palindrome. So the next program is to accept n and find the sum of series 1 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 5 factorial up to n factorial. So that is odd numbers. So echo, enter the value of the n, read the value of the variable n, initialize sum is equal to 0, I is equal to 1, checking the condition, and factorial f is equal to 1, j is equal to 1. Next, checking while condition, j less than I. Then so we are multiplying f is equal to f star j, j is equal to j plus 1. So when we are using the arithmetic operators, so we have to give a space on both the sides. So when we perform multiplication, so we have to make use of escape sequence, that is slash. So otherwise it will be treated as a wildcard characters. So we have to S key the multiplication operator. So next we are calculating the sum plus $f, I is equal to $i plus 2. Since it is odd numbers 1 plus 3, so we are incrementing the iteration by 2. Next, end of the while loop. Next we are displaying the sum of series. So when we execute our third program, that is sum of series, enter the value of the n. So 5, it will be displaying 127, that is 1 factorial plus that value is 1, 3 factorial, that is 6, plus 5 factorial, that is 120. So 1 plus 6 plus 120. So sum of series is 127. So next program, accept n and check whether it is prime or not. So first we are entering the number, reading the value of the variable from the keyboard. Next we are checking whether n is equal to 0 and minus o, that is or space $n space minus eq, that is equal space 1. So then n is not a prime number, else so I is equal to 2. Next we are checking the condition while I is less than n. So if $n modulus $i is equal to 0, that is n mod I is equal to 0, then $n is not a prime number. You are immediately exiting using the exit command F5, end of the if. Next I is equal to I plus 1, end of the while loop. Next displaying n is a prime number. Next end of the if condition. So when we execute our program, let us before enter a number. So 7 is a prime number, 9 is not a prime number. So next program is to display all the natural numbers between two integers and also find their sum. So we have to enter the first integer, that is read the n1, enter the second integer, read the second number. Next check the condition. If n1 is less than n2, then I is equal to n1 plus 1. We are incrementing the first number by 1, so initialization sum is equal to 0. Next checking whether while I is less than $n2, so display I. Next we are calculating the sum is equal to sum plus I, so I will be incremented by 1, that is I plus 1. Next end of the while loop. So next display the sum, else first number should be less than the second integer, end of the if condition. So when we execute the program, so sh b5.sh, enter the first integer, enter the second integer. So in between 6 and 9 the number will be 7 and 8, the sum will be displayed, that is 15. So sixth program, to find the largest number among the set of integers. So enter a number of elements, large is equal to 0, for I is equal to 1, I less than or is equal to n, I plus plus, enter a number, read the number. So number is greater than or equal to L, then number is assigned to L, end of the if, then end of the while loop. Next we are displaying the largest. So vi b6.sh. So enter a number of elements, read the number, L is equal to 0, enter the number, for I is equal to 1, L is not equal to n, I plus plus. Read the number, if number is greater than or is equal to largest, then number is assigned to L. End of if, end of file, display the largest. So escape, shift, semicolon, WQ, execute the program, vsh filename dot sh. Enter the number of elements. So largest is 9. So next program is to accept a word and check whether it begins with lowercase or uppercase, vowel, lines with digit, or whether it is a 3-lettered word. So first enter a word, read the word, case, I am using the switch case, so case space $word in. So now the word contains, variable word contains a word. So next, first is the pattern. So we are checking the condition whether word begins with the lowercase. So that is pattern is AIOU within the bracket followed by the star. So bracket close. Next echo word begins with the lowercase vowel space double semicolon. So next pattern, that is caps. So word begins with the uppercase vowel. So AIOU followed by bracket close, star bracket close. Echo word begins with the uppercase vowel space double semicolon. So next star indicates the word does not begins with the vowel. So double semicolon, end of the case. Second case, we are checking whether the word begins with or ends with the digit. So pattern will be from 0 to 9, so that is our range. So it ends with the digit. So beginning can be anything. So it can be any number of characters. So we have placed prefix star. So 0 to 9 echo word ends with the digit, else does not ends with the digit. So third case is to check whether the word, it is a three-lettered word. So since question mark is a wildcard character, so it represents single character. So we have to check whether it is a three-lettered word. So we are using 3 question marks. So echo three-lettered word space double semicolon. So else it's not a three-lettered word. End of the case by using ESAC, reverse of the case. So when we execute our program, enter a three-lettered word. So word begins with the lowercase uppercase vowel, the word ends with digit, it is a three-lettered word. So in the part C, the first program is to write the shell script to accept an integers and count positive, negatives and zeros separately. Also find the sum of positives and negatives. So first enter the number. So VA space file name .sh. So echo enter the integer, read the integer, positive, negative, 0, positive sum, negative sum is initialized to 0. Enter the number. Next for loop to read the number, case $xn. So range is from 1 to 9 followed by star bracket close, positive is equal to expression positive plus 1. So since positive is equal to 0, we have initialize is equal to 0. So positive sum is equal to expression positive sum plus $x. So next pattern is 0. So 0 is equal to expression 0 plus 1. Next negative is equal to expression $negative plus 1. So negative sum is equal to expression $negative plus $x. So end of the case statement, sum is equal to expression positive sum plus negative sum, end of the while loop. So next we are end of the for loop. So next we are displaying the positive, negative, 0, positive sum, negative sum, finally positive and negative sum totally. So enter the number. So sum of positive, sum of negative, zeros, positives, negatives, and sum of positive and negatives. So this is about first program. So next program is write a shell script to accept many characters and count individual vowels, digits, spaces, special characters and consonants. So first s is equal to 0, the input file. So cat file name. So we need a file. So first we have to create a file with this in any name. So we have to pass those file name here. So cat file name. So it can be any file name. So cat A1 or cat B1, C1, any file name. So next checking the condition while s is equal to 0. Enter your choice to count the vowel, 2 for digit, 3 for space, 4 for consonants, 5 for special characters. Read the choice. Case $a in. So first pattern is 1, that is to count the number of vowels. So echo vowel count. So grep we are using for global search for regular expression. Minus O space minus I. So minus I for case distinction, it can be uppercase or lowercase, space double quote bracket open, vowels in cap A, E, I, O, U, double quote close, space, pass the file name, space, WC minus L. So now this grep command will be searching for the vowels in this file, and those output will be sent as input to the WC command, which will give the vowel count. Same thing echo digits. So pattern grep minus O. So the range is 0 to 9. From grep command will be searching for the digits in this file, and the output will be sent to WC command, so which will be giving the number of digits. Spaces. So the pattern is a single space. So grep command will be searching for the space from file name f2.sh. So single quote, one space, single quote close space, f2.sh wc minus l will be giving the number of spaces other than vowels, that is consonants. So grep command will be searching for the consonants in the file f2.sh. So minus I, either lowercase or uppercase, so not a problem. So minus will be printing those matched patterns. So double quote within that, from range B to D, from range F to H, J to N, B to T, B to Z, from this file. So it will be giving the consonants. So we need the count, so it will be sent as input to the WC command, which will be giving the number of consonants equal special characters. So grep space minus O prints the matched part. So within the double quote we are giving the special characters. So now this grep command will be searching for the special character from this file and prints those special characters. We need the count, so we sending those output as input to WC command by using pipeline symbol. So now this displays the number of special characters, otherwise it's an invalid choice. So end of the case, if you want to continue, so press 0 for next choice, no, in order to exit press 1. So read by end of this while loop. So first create a file with f2.sh. So I have created the file name cat f2.sh with content. So execute the program sh.c2.sh. So since I have used the command cat f2.sh in the program, so it will be displaying the content of those file. Next enter the choice. So vowel count, enter your choice, vowel count will be 2. So in order to continue press 0, so you will be getting the next choice. So in order to exit press 1. So s is equal to 0, no is equal to 1. So next program is write a shell script to accept student name and marks in 3 subjects through command line arguments. Find the total marks, average and grade. So we need to pass those name, marks in 3 subjects in the command line. So while executing the program, so we have to pass the name, marks in 3 subjects. So name, so since we are passing the command line, so in the program we have to receive those values by using the positional parameters. So $1, so $0 will be representing name of the command. So $1 will be the first parameter, that is your name. So $1 will be the first position. So 1 is assigned to name, $2 will be mark in first subject, second subject, mark in third subject. So that is $4 position. So total is equal to expression $m1 plus $m2 plus $m3. So average is equal to total by 3. So next we are checking the condition if space bracket open space $m1 space minus less than space 35 minus O, that is or, checking for our condition space $m2 less than 35 or $m3 is less than 35, then grade is equal to fails. Else we are checking for the average is greater than or equal to 80, then distinction. If average is greater than or equal to 70, then grade is equal to first class. Average is greater than or equal to 60, then grade is equal to second class. Else end of this if. Next we are displaying those name, marks in 3 subjects, total, average and grade. So we have to pass those values in the command line. So name, mark in 3 subject. So mark in 3 subject. So we are passing through command line. So within the program we are using those values by using positional parameters, that is $1, $2, $3 and $4. So next program is to write the shell script to accept your option for deleting -d or copying for -c a file and file names through command line arguments. So while executing for deletion, so we are using sh file name space -d space file1. For copying, sh file name space -c. For copying, space file1 space file2. So for deletion we need one file, for copying we need two files. So and we have to check whether the given arguments are sufficient for the selected options. Second question, file to be copied or deleted must be present in the directory. Third one, while copying, if the destination already exists, prompt for overwriting. So first case $1. So -c followed by file name for deletion. So file1 will be the first argument. So if it is -d. So we are checking whether test command is used to test the validity of the argument. So $hash represents total number of arguments. Next, minus not equal to 2. If argument is not equal to 2, then wrong number of argument. So immediately exit, end of the if. So if we have supplied the correct number of arguments, then $2 is assigned to file1. So if test not of space -f space $file1, then that file is not found. Exit, end of if. Remove the file1. So we are checking whether if file you have passed the correct number of arguments, then we are removing those files. Echo file1 has been deleted, end of that case. Next case is to check for copying from source to destination. So we need 3 arguments. So if test command is not, total number of argument is not equal to 3, then wrong number of argument, exit. So $2 is assigned to file1, that is first file. So if test not of space -f $file1, then file does not exist, exit F5. If option is equal to yes, $3 is assigned to file2. If test space -f $file2, then file2 already exists. So do you want to continue? That is overwrite, that is yes or no. Read the option. So end of if. Case $option means you have to press either S. So you have to press Y, so that is for S for copying, and for not copying, Y copy $file1 is copied into file2. So file1 is copied into $file2, else not copy, not done. End of the case statement. Else invalid choice, end of the case statement. So for deletion and for copying operation, so we need to create 3 files. So you have to create the 3 files. So for one for deletion, it is calculated them equal to. So while copying, so when if the destination already exists, so we are overwriting. So place content in F2, place the content in F3. So next, execute the program as such. So invalid choice. So we need, for deletion we have to make use of -d followed by the file name. So that is F1. So file1 has been deleted. So if the file is not present, so file not found. So for copying, so we have to make use of -c option. So we need 2 files. So minus wrong number of arguments. So for copying we need 2 files. So if F2 wrong number of arguments, again we need 2 files, that is F2 and F3. I already created F2 and F3. So F3 already exists. So if already exists, so it will be asking whether you want to overwrite. So yes. So file content from F2 will be copied into the F3. So this is how to execute the program. So next program, write shell script to accept many file names through command line. Do the following for each file name. If it is ordinary file, display the content, check whether it has a execute permission. If it is a directory, display the number of files on it. If a file or directory does not exist, display the message. So for I in $. So in the command line we are passing multiple file names, so we are using $I. So that is assigned to file1 variable. If test space minus set $file1, then $file1 is an ordinary file. So display the content of the file. So if test minus x file1, so x stands for execute. If this we are checking whether this file1 has execute permission, then $file1 has execute permission, else file1 does not have execute permission. End of this if statement. So if you have passed in the command line, that is directory name, so else if you are checking else test minus d, that is for directory, we are checking whether you have passed a directory, then so file1 is a directory. So we have to check the count, you have to display the number of files in the directory. So we are displaying, so by using cd $file1, so we are changing the current working directory to the specified directory. So ls will be listing, so we need the count, so we are sending the output of lss input to the wc command, which will be giving the count, the number of files within that directory. So next we are coming back to the parent directory by using cd command, else no such file directory exists. End of if, end of this for loop. So we need pass many file names in the command line, so and we are displaying the content of those files. So sh file name dot sh, so we need to pass the file names. So file f3 is an ordinary file, we are displaying the content of that file, it does not have execute permission. f2 is an ordinary file, so f2 does not have execute permission. So suppose if we want to display the file f3 or f2 has an execute permission, so we need to make use of chmod command. So we have to assign the execute permission. We need to assign the execute permission. So now to check the permission, make use of ls-l command. So file f3 owner has execute permission, so group and others does not have execute permissions. So we can assign and we can display whether it has an execute permission. Next is, if it is a directory, display the number of files within it. So what we have to do is we have to create one directory. So change the current working directory to ABCD. So in the directory ABCD, create some files for the count. Cat F1, Control D, Cat F2, Control D. So come back to your parent directory, that is cd double dot. Let's execute your program. So instead of file name, pass the directory name in the command line, that is abcd. So number of files in the directory abcd is 2. So next program is write the menu driven shell script for the following. So list a directory having all the permission, list of ordinary files with the assigned permission, count the number of directories and files separately, list all the file names or directory names in the present working directory which has specified pattern, assign execute permission to the specified file for the owner and the group. So last one is exit. So s is equal to 0, menu driven shell script. So while s is equal to 0, do first list a directory having all the permission, second option, third one, fourth one, fifth assign execute permission to the specified file, sixth one exit. So we have to enter the choice, rate the choice either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 or 6. So case choice, so choices either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, n. So first pattern, that is 1. So 1 is to list a directory having all the permissions. So ls minus l will be listing the permissions now in the long format. So that output will be sent as input to the grep command. So grep command will be searching from the first character. whether this directory has all the permissions. So for directory it starts with D, followed by read write execute for user, read write execute for group, and read write execute for others. So directory must have all these permissions, only then those directory names will be listed. Second one, files with assigned permissions. So ls minus l will be listing the content, so it will be listing all the files and directories now, so that output will be sent as input to the grep command. So we need to search for the files with assigned permission. So first begin with this caret symbol, which will be searching from the first characters. So file starts with minus, so that is the pattern. Then so those files will be listed. Next we have to check whether this file has all the permissions, so send as input to grep command again. So beginning from the first character, it will be checking whether the file has file with assigned permissions, so whether it is matching. So the file that we have been created and permission of that file and the permission that we have assigned here, which is matching. If those permissions is matching with the file that we created, those files will be listed. So third one, number of directories separately, that is ls minus l will be listing all the directories and files. So from that we need only the directory. So ls minus l, the output of this command will be sent as input to the grep command. So the first character is D. So next caret symbol will be searching from the first character. So first character begins with D, so it is a directory. Then that so directory will be listed. So we need the count, so that output will be sent as input to the wc command, which will be giving the number of directories. Same thing, number of files, which begins with the minus. So this grep command will be listing only the file names. From that we need the count, so which will be sent as input to this wc command, which will be giving the number of files. So next, enter the file pattern to be displayed. Read the pattern echo ls list. Next, from that we need to enter the pattern. So whichever the file name we have given or the pattern we have given, so whichever those directory names or file names gets matched, those will be listed. So next we have to enter the file name, read the file name. So f minus f. So we are checking whether if it is a file. So if it is a file, then so minus f for file. So then we are assigning for execute permission for user and group. So for this file, so file has execute permission for the user and the group, ls minus l space $n. So it will be listing whether after assigning those permission. Else no such files, end of this if. Sixth one, exit, end of the case. Do you want to continue? If yes, you press enter 0. If no, enter 1. Read your choice, end of this while loop. So first we have to check whether directory having, we have to list the directory having all the permissions. So as such, so we need to create the directory, or we can I already created the directory. Check the permissions, ls minus l. So directory ABCD has only read write execute for user, write for group and others. So I can assign the permissions chmod user group. So I have to assign a write permission for the directory. So when we execute the program, so first option, so the directory with ABC will be listed, which is having all the permissions. So a directory ABC will be listed. So second option is to list the ordinary files with assigned permissions. So when we create the file, so first we have to create the file. So I already created the file, or create some new file. So check the permission for the file by using ls minus l. So file f4 has read write no write execute for group and no write execute for others. So one way you want to list the file names, change those, so assign these permissions within the program, or change the permission which we have entered within the program. So if those permission matches, it will be listed. So assign those permissions for the file, or whichever the permission those file has, so assign here within the program. So now this file F4 has read write and only read and only read. So I will be changing in the program, so that is read write, and or you can change within the program, or we can assign those permissions by using chmod command. So read write, am I assigning write for permission for group, it is for F4. Next, so I will assign write for group. So when I execute the program, so the file with F4 will be listed. So we can assign using chmod command, or when we list by using ls -l, we can check whichever the permission that file has. So we can change those permissions within this program. Next, third option is to count the number of files and directories separately. So s is equal to 0, we are continuing. So next, so we have already created the files and directories, so it will be listed. To list all the directory names in the present working directory, so s is equal to 0, enter your choice. So enter your file pattern to be displayed. So if we have created the file with file 1, file 2, file 3, so we can enter the pattern as F or F5. So if you have created the files as program 1, program 2, program 3, so we can enter the pattern as P, R, O, or G, R. We can give any pattern. So since I have created the file with F1, F2, F3, so I am giving the pattern as F. So it will be listed. So file with F2, F2.sh, F3, F4 will be listed, which starts with F. So next option is assign execute permission. So I want continue, press 0. So enter the file name. So enter the file that has been already created. So as execute permission for owner and group will be assigned. So read write execute, read write execute, read no execute, no write permission for this file F3. So that's all about. So thank you.